Hey, I wanted to welcome everybody tonight for coming out with us. We've got food on either side of us and a bar back here. And I wanted to ask Pastor Trinae Jordan to come up and bless our food and bless our event. And we've got a few minutes to grab a drink, grab some food, and then we'll get started here.
Father, we want to say thank you so much for this opportunity to be here. We thank you for not just an event, but we thank you for this celebration. The celebration that we celebrate for the countless lives that we have impacted through the mission and the vision of Habitat for Humanity. We also thank you for everyone that is here, everyone that has invested their time, their resources, their energies, their prayers, and the work that they have done to help us impact families the way that we have. We thank you for what we've done through you. We thank you for what we're presently doing now, but we're so ecstatic and excited about what we're going to do. We pray, God, that you allow this event tonight, this celebration tonight, to allow us to cultivate relationships, make new relationships, and also create something so magnificent that we'll never be able to forget. We thank you for the food that we're about to receive. We thank you for the businesses that have put their hands together to make tonight wonderful. And we also thank you for every speaker that's going to be up here tonight. We ask that you speak through them. Allow them just to be a PA system so we can hear your voice through them. And not only that, we thank you for the PA system and those who are handling the sound. God, we thank you and we bless you. Allow us to enjoy tonight, to let down any anxiety that we have, to let down any pressures that we're carrying in tonight, because tonight we're going to have a blast. We thank you, Lord. Amen.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Habitat Chattanooga's Fall Fundraiser, Blueprints to the Future. I'm Chris Curtis. I'm chairing our event tonight. So thrilled that all of our friends, neighbors, supporters could be here with us tonight. Really appreciate y'all making your time to come out and have some fellowship tonight. We all come together kind of sharing a unique mission and a common mission, building stronger communities, more stable communities, and for nearly 4 decades, Habitat of Chattanooga has been raising walls, raising hopes, and empowering families to achieve the dream of home ownership. Not a small feat. Together, we've built just a lot of homes, not just a lot of homes, but a lot of places to live, a lot of places that provide opportunity, love, and are filled with stability for these families. Tonight we celebrate that legacy, but we also look forward to blueprints to the future. And we're laying out a bold vision for what's coming next for more affordable homes, revitalizing neighborhoods, and stronger pathways to stability for our families across the Chattanooga area. These blueprints are more than just floor plans, they're roadmaps for changing lives. Every foundation poured, every roof raised, every nail driven is part of a larger plan to break the cycle of poverty and create a lasting opportunity for generations to come. Of course, this would not be possible without a lot of support from all of you here tonight and your generosity. Our incredible sponsors that have helped us with this event tonight, and just the whole Chattanooga community are really committed to this vision and helping Habitat of Chattanooga build safe, affordable homes and strengthen these families and just transforming our whole community. I need to take a minute to recognize our sponsors for tonight. Without their vital support, this event would not be possible. Master Builder sponsor is Crown Automotive Group. Foundation sponsors Tennessee Valley Authority, C&D Recycling, H&H Stone. Hard Hat sponsors Double Cola Company, Professional Sign Services, First Horizon Foundation, Pinnacle Financial Partners, the Robinson Team, Trimble Homes Team, Regions Bank, EPB, J.C. Curtis Construction, JAD Energy, Greater Chattanooga Realtors, HGH Construction, Chattanooga Exteriors, Linda Brock Homes, Ashley Moore Davenport, and Hammer and Nail sponsors, Southern Champion Trey, Ruby Falls, Tennessee Valley Federal Credit Union, Chambliss Bonner and Stoffel, Elders Ace Hardware, Smith and Howard, Elliott Davis, City of Chattanooga, Point Property Group, JHM Certified Public Accountants, Community Foundation of Greater Chattanooga, Wise Property, Jason and Brooke Sauce. We've also had some in-kind sponsorships from Sunny 92.3, the Times Free Press, TriStar Beverage, Cherokee Distributing, the Barn Nursery, Coca-Cola United, Athens Distributing, and I wanted to thank our UTC basketball team here for greatness out the door and lending their support to the event as well. So please, just a round of applause for all our sponsors tonight. Tonight you're going to hear from some leaders, learn about their initiatives, guiding their habitat into the future, see the impact your support makes here in our home in Chattanooga. So to officially kick things off, it's my honor to welcome someone that knows a thing or two about building a team, building a great foundation on and off the court, a great friend, NIT championship coach, UTC men's basketball coach, Dan Earl.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. How's everybody doing tonight? Good? Awesome. Thanks for having me. Special thanks to Jens Christensen, who I've gotten to know. We've helped out over at Habitat at the store and helped out tonight. And then a special thanks to Chris Curtis, as he just mentioned. We've become great friends. He's been instrumental in helping our success in fundraising. I know that happens every which way, but for our basketball program as well, so I appreciate it. This is a great evening, hanging out, having some drinks and some food, and great camaraderie, so I appreciate you. Just to tell you a little bit, and I'm not going to bend your ear about our season and all that stuff, but share a couple things that I think go hand in hand with the mission at Habitat as well. But one of which, tell you a little bit about our season, but handling adversity, right? So last season we were able to win 29 games in the NIT championship. It was an awesome run, a time that our guys will never forget. As we're going through, and some of you guys may know this, but we won 12 straight games. Everything's going well. We're in a practice 2 days before we open up the Southern Conference play. And in basketball, you're trying to win the Southern Conference to go to the NCAA tournament. And in a non-contact drill, Frank Champion, our starting center, one of our best players, goes down with a knee injury. And it was really difficult for us. And kind of everybody, in practice lost steam and everything. We're trying to build their spirits. Unfortunately, we go into the Southern Conference tournament. We win game one, but we got upset in game two in the semifinals. And we had a decision to make. We could rally and continue to work hard and step up into new roles, or we could be, hey, woe's me, and just shut it down. We had an opportunity to play in the NIT, and our guys did an unbelievable job of doing the former rather than the latter. They played extremely hard. We had, in particular, our backup centers all stepped up into a great role, and we had an unbelievable run through the NIT championship. A little luck on our side, and we made things interesting throughout our run, but 3 overtime game against Middle Tennessee State. Had a Dayton team that came into here. The roundhouse was rocking. So appreciative of everybody coming out. And then one in Indianapolis against UC Irvine. It was really cool. Confetti coming down, cutting down nets, all that good stuff. So the other thing, I think the reason why we were successful were we were really an unselfish team. If you have the ability to watch us play, we move the ball at times almost to a fault. And I give our guys a ton of credit. Everybody could have gone out and scored more points individually, and that's getting harder and harder to do throughout, the college athletics. If you follow, you have the transfer portal, you have NIL, name, image, and likeness, where these kids are all making money. So for our guys to go out and play completely unselfishly, I think said a lot about our group. So I'll share a quick story with you. I spoke at the Rotary. Some of you guys were there, and I talked more basketball. I'm going to come back to Habitat. I'm just going to share a quick story to you. But what we're dealing with in the basketball world, I think I shared this there. But so you got to sit down with every player after the season, and you have to say, hey, are you coming back? Not? Are you going into the transfer portal? And we have a young man, Colin Mulholland. I don't know if anybody remember Colin Mulholland, redheaded guy, center, 6'11". So as I'm sitting down with him, and now you have to ask them nowadays, are you coming back? He's like, I don't know. He's got things going, people in his ear and people in his mind. I said, hey, Colin, do you know how many threes you shot in a championship game against UC Irvine? And he starts smiling, and he's like, 16, coach. And I was like, no, 17 threes. I don't know if you follow basketball, but 17 threes is a ton of threes for any human being, let alone a center. And I said, do you know how many staffs in America would allow you to shoot 17 threes? And he laughed a little bit. He goes, not many. And I said, no, one, our staff. So I think it's best that you come back here to Chattanooga. So hopefully that had a little thing to do with it. So, but we have super high character guys that I think are representing UTC and Chattanooga the right way. And I was really appreciative of everything that the community did for us. I mean, it was truly awesome. Whether it was coming to games at home, on the road, we were honored by the city, by Hamilton County, on the state senate floor. C of C had us at a soccer game. The Lookouts had us at a game. And we just run around, had a parade downtown at Miller Park. And I think that's what it's all about. We certainly felt the love, and we were super appreciative. We are trying to get out as a team as much as humanly possible to give back to the community as well. We've done like 27 different community initiatives, whether it's the Ronald McDonald House, or the Chattanooga Food Bank, or our guys going to schools and reading, and the list goes on and on. And one of those is working with Habitat, and I'm super appreciative of Jen's to allow us to come over tonight, certainly, go over to the store and help move supplies, and we look forward to continuing that. Habitat means a little bit more to me in some ways. This isn't exactly analogous, but when I was growing up, my father was a school teacher at first, and then kind of got into real estate, buying homes, restoring them, and selling them. And I can distinctly remember putting in long days of hard work. I can remember that sense of accomplishment when you finish painting a room. I know this is on a different level a little bit, or build a sidewalk and finish, pouring concrete, whatever it may be, putting a roof on, a house. That sense of accomplishment. And I distinctly remember being at a couple of closings. Not that I was doing it; I was more of a kid running around, but seeing the keys handed over in the closing to a lot of first-time home buyers. And I know it's not exactly analogous, but that feeling of home ownership, I think, is an awesome, awesome thing, and I've seen a lot of people rewarded that way. So some of those traits that I thought that I mentioned in passing about our team and the perseverance, I think goes hand in hand with the mission of Habitat, right? So for those that are going to be future homeowners, that sense of, hey, adversity, life hits us, as we all know, in a lot of different ways, and there's different circumstances that hit. But for Habitat and all of you to support a mission to get people back on their feet, I think is truly awesome. The hard work portion, our guys are, lifting and running, and they have a 3.32 GPA in the classroom. Like, I'm super proud of them. They work hard. But for all of you that volunteer and work hard for Habitat, and/or the thing that I think is one of the coolest things about this organization and mission is it's not just handing someone keys and giving them a house. It's the ownership aspect. You have to get involved and put in the sweat equity and the hard work to become that homeowner, and then figure out the financial piece and be able to pay for the house that you own, which I think is an awesome thing. The selflessness as well, right? I talked about part of our success was the unselfish play, where we could have many individuals score more points. Well, the selflessness of everybody in this room, whether it's the time you put in, the effort you put in volunteering, or, to be honest with you, the dollars spent and the money raised. So can't thank you enough for all that. And then the final piece, just the community aspect. I told you how important and special we felt, and we tried to, have some good games out there that people will come out and support. The community aspect of tonight and of lifting each other up and having affordable housing for all of Chattanooga. As you know, Chattanooga is an awesome place. My wife and 2 kids are super proud to call it home, and I think the more people we can lift up and have the mission that Habitat has, it'll make Chattanooga a better and better place. So I just leave you with continue doing what you're doing, which is helping people. It's a great mission, and I appreciate you listening tonight, and I appreciate all that you do for Habitat, for UTC athletics and basketball specifically, but for the greater Chattanooga community. So thank you very much for listening. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach Earl. Sure, some powerful words about teamwork, perseverance, and the importance of building strong foundations. It's a perfect reminder that it takes all of us that we're working together. Whether it's on the court or in our neighborhoods, we can accomplish incredible things. Now it's my pleasure to introduce tonight's keynote speaker, a University of Tennessee legend, a 3-time first ballot Pro Bowler who inspires fans all across the country with determination both on and off the field. But beyond the highlights and accolades, he's deeply committed to giving back, to lifting up others, and being a voice for hope and resilience. So please help me welcome former volunteer, Kansas City Chief legend, Eric Berry.
Good evening. How y'all doing? Y'all doing all right? Y'all still with us? Yeah. Man, I just want to say I'm grateful to be here, to stand before you guys, to be a part of this great organization, this great initiative. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Jens. My little cousin, Blake. I won't make you stand up, but he is the reason why I'm here. He talked to me about it and said, I got a good thing going on here in Chattanooga. I want you to be a part of it, so here I am. I showed up. But if it's cool, I would like to kind of share with you guys what I've been doing and going through over the past couple of years. That's cool with y'all? It's okay to share? All right, cool. All right, so what I've been doing is putting the rubber to the road for the past 4 or 5 years. I've been traveling all over the U.S., the Midwest, the East Coast, the Dirty South, stopping to see friends, family, monuments, and museums. I didn't really have a clear destination, nor did I have a particular purpose in doing so. It just felt like something I should do. I guess you could say I was somewhat wandering on a regional level. Riding on that open highway just gave me a peace of mind that I couldn't find anywhere else. I remember this one time my dad had called me, and I think he kind of found joy in doing this, trying to figure out where I was in the country, you know, not just physically, but where I was mentally as well, and I appreciated that. And this particular time, I told him I was leaving Houston and headed to Natchez, but I might stop off in New Iberia, a small little town in Louisiana. And I was interested to go because I heard Solange did a very good project that I really like. It's called A Seat at the Table. It's an album that I like to listen to. I listened to it while I was going through chemotherapy and all that. So I was very attached to this project, and I wanted to see, like, where did she pull from to get this album completed. And my dad was like, do you know anybody in New Iberia? I was like, no, sir. He was like, do we have family there or something that I don't know about? I was like, no, sir, I just want to go check out where Solange did her thing at. And he was like, well, do you know Solange? I said, no, sir, I don't. So until Solange calls you and tells you that she's down there and says, Eric, come pull up on me so I can show you the city, you keep your butt in that truck and get to Natchez. I couldn't help but laugh because, he's halfway joking, but he's halfway serious too. And I respected my dad's wisdom. Here at 37, 36, 37, I respect it, because he's coming from a place of love and he has experience. And I'm never too old to hear his voice of wisdom. But he was right. So I stayed in my truck and I got the Natchez. Got there safely too. Once I got situated, I decided to go visit my aunties. This was a typical thing that I did when I pulled up into the city or the small town, because it's not very big, it's not a city either, it's a retirement town. It was always good to connect with them. Tons of laughter, good food, the warm hugs. It's like every time I pulled up on them, my soul was nourished, and that's what I needed. What I love the most is to hear about the stories about how they grew up in that very house that we were sitting in, talking about the things that they endured as a family, how hard my granny worked to keep her kids under one roof and provide them with everything they needed. Not what they wanted, but what they needed. They told me stories about how she would feed people walking down the street that stayed in the neighborhood and who were very much a part of the community, but needed something on their stomach to make sure that they were able to provide for them and theirs in their household. So she kept the neighborhood fed too, which also brought up an argument amongst the house because it was like, man, we barely got food to eat. Why are we feeding them? But they knew not to question my granny on that. She was very strong. But the key fact that I'm going to give y'all a fun fact about this first. Mississippi, this house that I was in, this is the only house in Mississippi that has 2 gold helmets in one residence. Now, gold helmets in Mississippi, that basically goes to the best high school player in the state of Mississippi. One was my dad, who was a running back that ended up going to the University of Tennessee. And the other one was my Uncle Tank. He ended up going to Northwestern Louisiana. Fun story. My junior year, we had a new staff, Kiffin staff. We were getting ready for morning runs, and I had Coach Orgeron come pull me to the side. Cajun guy straight from Louisiana. Now, I was a little bit nervous because if Coach O didn't talk to you unless you were in trouble or you was a D lineman. And he was pretty much the enforcer on our squad. So I was like, dang, what is he coming to talk to me for? So I was a little bit nervous. So forgive me for my Cajun accent, but he pulled up on me and he said, Barry, you any kin to Tank Barry? I said, yes, sir, that's my uncle. He said, the best player I've ever seen in my entire life. I was like, wow. It caught me off guard because I knew he was good. I just didn't know Coach O played with him. Now, my uncle was NFL caliber. He could have went to the league, played for many years, but he was scared of flying. So those dreams were done. He went ahead and went to work and did his thing. People say that you can cut on a film of Aaron Donald and you'll see my Uncle Tank. That's cold. But what I want to highlight about this particular visit to Natchez that I had was the convo I had with me and my auntie on the front porch. Once the night had settled down, we were vibing, we were chilling. We were listening to peace. That's what she called it after it had rained, particularly at night, because the crickets would finally stop chirping. It was summertime, and we were in the south, so you could feel the moisture to begin to evaporate from the earth. The silence was as thick as the humidity. That's when she found the perfect opportunity to turn to me and look me in my eyes and say, baby, you good? But it wasn't one of those generic you goods. It was a sincere, are you okay? How are you feeling? What's going on? I see something going on, but I can't quite put my finger on it. It was that type of you good. I found a way to vocalize an uncertain, yeah, as confident as I could, but she saw straight through that. She said, I can see it's a lot on your mind, and you've been doing a lot of moving around, going nowhere, traveling from this place to that place, and to me, it seems as if you're looking for something or running from something. I don't know which one it is, but you're definitely doing one of them, and possibly both. Damn. That statement hit me like a concrete slab and put me in a state of contemplation immediately. She's always had a unique way of pulling the essence of a situation and delivering it with clarity and density. But I had to let this one marinate, though. I sat there for quite some time, and when I say some time, I'm not speaking on hours or days. It's more like weeks and months. Like, what could she be talking about? What was I running from? What was I looking for? And how could I be doing both at the same time? It just didn't make sense. But I was determined to make sense of it. So you know what I did? I put the Michelin tires back on the pavement and hit the road towards understanding. I was now in the midst of a nomadic journey to self-discovery. Or should I say, I was now aware of this nomadic journey because it had already taken place, I just wasn't aware of it. What I came to learn is this travel on the interstate helped me navigate my inner state. It was my peace after the rain that silenced the crickets. What I was looking for was not tangible, nor was it extrinsic. What I was running from was also not tangible, but it was extrinsic. And I figured this out through an unconventional way. Hall of Fame inductions. During this time, I was inducted to numerous Hall of Fames, which included Georgia, the state of Georgia, Georgia High School Hall of Fame, the University of Tennessee, and the State of Tennessee Hall of Fame, as well as the College Hall of Fame. All prestigious honors that I'm truly grateful for. Every time I got a call from someone delivering the news, I was excited, but my apparent state of perplexity outweighed that excitement. And it showed on my face or was felt through my tone. I guess I was confused because this Hall of Fame was less of a hall to me and more like a portal of limbo. Stuck between who I was as a person and who I was as an athlete while struggling trying to connect the two. And this made me ask, where does the Hall of Fame actually lead to? Does anybody know? It's just a hall. Okay, well, where is it coming from? Does anybody know? It's a hall. But I'll tell you this, it's a rabbit hole on both ends. You would think that these accolades would give me fertile soil to root my identity and provide clarity on who I was, but it failed doing so completely. It just brought up more questions. However, this was a great starting point for me because I eventually realized that I was running to and running from identity. I was running to find out who I truly was as an individual while simultaneously running from the labels which society had stamped me with. That was it. That's what Auntie was talking about. It was identity. I couldn't put the totality of my identity in sports, but it could lead me to the source. Because my personal goals, it never was about accolades. My personal goals and objectives transcended any on-field achievement, not because of my ability, but because of who I was as an individual. Accolades, they're surface level. They are the byproduct of my work ethic, my ability, my intention, and the accuracy in which I expressed it. For me, it was much more about the way I performed, the spirit I brought to the game, and the purpose that I carried while doing so. But where did this drive come from? This called me to time travel back to a decade ago when I was diagnosed with cancer. The diagnosis happened on a Friday morning after a Thursday night game in Oakland, the Black Hole, and the doctors had confirmed that I was in stage 4 and needed a plan of action ASAP. They gave me a long list of options, different situations I could go about, different maneuvers, different procedures, and they asked me what I wanted to do. It was simple to me. I wanted to go home. So that's what I did. I booked a flight from KC to Atlanta and went home. With my life on the line and my future uncertain, that was the answer. Home was the solution. The pivotal moment when I was home was at a breakfast, though. I had breakfast with a dear friend and mentor who I met my freshman year at the University of Tennessee, Inky Johnson. We sat in the corner of Homegrown, this little quaint breakfast spot in East Atlanta, and we talked about a number of things. But the most important thing that he told me was everything is going to work out in God's favor. But while we're in this, he got in the trenches with me and immediately made sure that I was accountable. We're going to treat this like a 12-round boxing match, and you're going to finish strong. I said okay, but the expression on my face questioned how he was so certain. He mentioned that he had been preparing me for this moment throughout my whole college career, and the dots were connected. Light bulb went off. He often told me that there would be an opponent that I will face that's bigger than any opponent that I would compete with on the field. This was the consistent message throughout my 3 years at UT. This is why I was somewhat blind to the accolades. Inky was being sure that I was locked into the development of me, my essence as an individual, and not just my ability as an athlete. He challenged me with the simplest things because he said that you're a man first, a brother, a son, and will be a husband and a father one day. And it was important that I develop those things that made those individuals great and not just the athlete. He made sure that I expressed gratitude. He made sure that I expressed gratitude. He challenged me with the simplest things because that's what he did. Gratitude for the game we play, appreciation for everything that comes with it, not just the good, but also the bad. Commitment to what's required to perform at the best of our ability, regardless of external factors. And of course, accountability, being someone that your teammates and people in general could depend on. These were just a few things that we discussed. They were topics that he had scribbled down with his non-dominant hand in pregame letters. But why was I so locked in the ink? Why did I accept his challenges? I got it. He was echoing the same principles that were mandatory in the home that I grew up in. My dad was big on work ethic and accountability, providing what was necessary regardless of external factors. He always challenged me to be a great player, but more importantly, a better teammate. My mom was big on gratitude and empathy, not just for herself, but for others as well, regardless of what you were going through in life. Being sure that I moved with intention and not just going through the motions was her main focus. She is the epitome of grace. And they both anchored who they were and what they did in faith. So it didn't really matter what they did it to the best of their ability. I recognized that ink amplified my capabilities through challenging my perspective and what I already did. I was able to conquer cancer and return to playing football because I was able to challenge the essence of who I was as a person and having a space to return to called home on numerous occasions, whether it was my parents, the one I grew up in, the home of a friend, Dan, to find this clarity of who I was as an individual. It's truly a blessing. But why? Because this is where I found those answers to those questions that were unanswerable. One in particular, who am I? My home gave me identity, not the physical structure, but the spirit which we were able to cultivate and fill it with. I guess this is just my long-winded way of saying you guys are doing great things by coming together and providing these spaces to people who truly need it. You may not understand the impact now, but you're gifting an opportunity, a habitat which identity can be rooted and legacies can be continued. Continue to do what you do, but be sure to be who you are while doing so. I'm Eric Berry, and that's my time. Thank you.
Dan's taller than me, so there he is. Obviously, I didn't think through what following Eric Berry meant when we did the run a show. So it may take me a couple minutes to collect myself, but how cool is he, man? How cool is that? Just give him another round of applause. What a great story. Thank you so much for doing that. Also, everyone, if you get thirsty or if you're hungry, the bar is still open, food is still available, so I will not be offended if you get up while I'm walking and go over to grab another drink or something like that. Eric, thank you for that inspiring story. Thanks for talking about home, telling your story. You know, I can't help but think, as you're sitting there with your granny, that your strong future was built on that porch in those houses from the people that really came around you and helped build you up. The same community that you were talking about, Coach Earl, looking at building with your team, it's just incredible to see the work that you all have done, the wondrous things that you're creating, and the future that you're going to create for the young men on your team, the future that you're creating right now for the men that you're mentoring in their college and high school careers. It's just great work. So thank you both for being here and for what you're doing to make the world a better place. You know, that's what our goal is at Habitat Chattanooga. It's to come alongside people, to build a community, to build a better world. And that's what we're working every single day to do. And that's what we've been doing here in Chattanooga since 1986. In fact, hundreds of families across the Chattanooga area now live in safe, secure homes because of the work that Habitat Chattanooga has done. Even more, these families now are independent. They're no longer receiving government subsidies. In fact, they're giving back to the community, paying income taxes, paying property taxes, helping build the streets that we drove here on today. They're coming full circle and contributing entirely to making Chattanooga a very much better place. I said a very better place, but that was just a slip, you know. But, so at this very moment, right here in Chattanooga, Habitat is building 6 homes. We have about 25 home repairs going on right now, and I'll talk a little bit about that because people don't realize that we're doing that. But with the 6 homes that we're building, we're creating a wealth building opportunity for the families that we serve. We're not just talking about building a house. We're talking about allowing them to build equity, allowing them to have something to leave for their children, something that will end generational poverty. With the home repair program, what we're doing now, thanks in great partnership to the city of Chattanooga, we are actually coming alongside seniors who have owned their homes for a long time. People who have lived in their homes but can no longer do the basic maintenance to them, to maintain them, to keep them a safe place to live. In fact, many of the folks that we're partnering with would be losing their homes and having to move into some sort of state-subsidized care if we were not able to come alongside them. We're doing things that we call keeping them warm, safe, and dry. But even more, we're making adaptations so that they can age in place and live in the home that they've lived in for so long, keeping it and passing it along to their future generations. Now, our mission, it's not just about homes. While true that most people think about Habitat as a place where people get a new home, our mission is also about building communities. It's about building hope. It's about building wealth and building futures. Among the 6 homes that we're building today are 2 in the villages of Alton Park. It's a neighborhood which used to be a housing authority property, and around 2006 it was torn down and turned into a vacant lot, and they started building a neighborhood around it. When we're done in the village of Alton Park, we'll have built 37 homes there, helping create a beautiful, vibrant, and hopeful Southside community. This is a little bit of imagery from it. Whoever thought of putting a TV right in front of me, that was actually pretty brilliant, so I know what's going on behind me. It's kind of cool. As Chris talked about earlier, and thank you, Chris, for sharing this and your hard work on this event, a lot of what you're seeing here is because of the hard work of Chris Curtis, so we're really grateful for him and his leadership as well. But, you know, I'm very excited. We're excited about completing what's going on behind me in the villages. We're excited about the work that we've done there, the families that live there, the futures that they're building. But we're also even more excited about what's to come. We're not going to finish and stop doing single-family home construction. We're not going to stop growing our home repair program and helping impact more and more families. But our next big push is something completely new for us. Our next big push, in fact, if you all look at your tables, you'll see the site plan. That's your placemat. It's a multifamily development of townhomes over by Hamilton Place. We're going to be building 22 townhomes in an area that is rich with great schools, good jobs, public transportation, grocery stores, shopping, all of the things that people want when they think about the neighborhood that they want to live in. The community, we're calling it Shallowford Heights as an homage, as a nod to Mark Height, our former board member who just really made a lot of this possible. It's almost ready for groundbreaking. In fact, by this time next year, we should have vertical buildings actually going up. Again, take a look at that placemat and just think about what can be there. This is a first of its kind project for us, as I mentioned before, and here we're giving families the opportunity to build a strong future in a neighborhood of their choosing. And Shallowford Heights is just the beginning of our planning as we near our 4th decade of service to Chattanooga. We are continuing to develop more blueprints for the future. Of course, you all figured it out, this is a fundraiser. All of this work takes community buy-in, and it takes money. And besides having a good time here, again, I mentioned the bar's still open, that's why we're here. But before we ask for your support tonight, we want to show you something that we think is pretty special. As we heard from Eric, children are really a big part of what we do. That growing up, that beginning. And this video that you're about to see, that they started just a hair early, but I'll get it back. I'll get it better the next time. Each of these, this video is made of drawings from children that are actually in the Habitat program and have been in the Habitat program. And each of these drawings is their vision of home. It tells a story of their imagination, of their dream, and of their future. So now it's time to start it. Beautiful, isn't it? These drawings remind us why our work matters and why your generosity tonight makes a real difference in the lives of families and children across Chattanooga. Our blueprints create bright futures for children and their families, and it's your support that helps make those dreams come true.
And now the part you've all been waiting for. We're going to ask for your support in supporting this mission, and hopefully we've done a good job of trying to inspire you to understand really what makes us just really try to put our energy and our time and our money in supporting our community. It's really what it's all about. So hopefully y'all can all understand why this mission is really so important for us all.
But before we get going with asking you to make a gift, we actually have two pretty exciting announcements to make. Derek Bullard, who's our board chair, and his wife LaVon believe so much in the mission that we have that they have decided that the first $50,000 raised through this event, raised tonight, they're going to match it dollar for dollar. On top of that, we have another donor. She wanted to remain anonymous, but she decided when she heard about Derek and LaVon's generosity that she wanted to match their match. So every gift tonight is tripled.
So did you hear that? So, wow, really appreciate that generosity. So that means a $100 gift tonight turns into $3,000, 1,000 turns into $3,000, 5,000 turns into $15,000, and it just goes and goes. So that's really remarkable. So let's get this started. So you're going to see on your table there's QR codes. You can also, you've got envelopes in there if you want to write a pledge or a check. And you can fill that out and you can hold it up. And we've got some people around the room that can kind of come and pick some of those up. You can also text a gift to BFTF to 41444. That's BFTF to 41444.
Look at the screen. Got folks going already. But you know, now that you've learned about the match, maybe you want to give again.
Wow. I mean, this is incredible. I mean, you're just going to start seeing some names scroll. So Leanne Adams, really appreciate that. Marcus Jones, I mean, just Susan Slesser, like, just really appreciate y'all's support. And look, it's just continuing to grow. So all this, and especially these matching gifts, it's really what it's all about here.
You know, when I think about the mission, I think about the kids, the people, the families that we work with. And one of the ones that really comes to mind, this is just a few years ago, I think about one of the first families when I became CEO of Habitat that I got to meet. They had this just precocious little girl. I mean, this like adorable little girl, and she was talking to me. She came up and she says, you know, I'm going to get the master bedroom. It's like, okay. Why? She's like, because it's the one that's got a bathroom. That's the one I'm going to live in. That's going to be mine. And I was pretty convinced she was going to get the master bedroom. Lo and behold, when she moved in, she didn't get it. But now on Canary Circle, actually, what you all just saw in the villages where they live, she's preparing. She's getting ready to go to college. This girl is growing up. She's moving forward and getting ready to go to college. And I think about these stories, and I think about collectively the impact that we have on these lives, the impact that we have on these people, and what we can do to help shape their trajectory. And I think about that, it's not just this one little girl, as cute as she was. It's hundreds of families, their children. It's everything that we do right there. And I just think how important it is that we build homes together in Chattanooga.
I mean, it really is about the people. And for me, a lot of this is, it's not a handout, it's a hand up, right? And we're helping out those that are helping themselves. And that's really about what building community is. So that's, I mean, this is incredible to see. I mean, I'm sitting here watching some names as I'm kind of looking between here. So I really appreciate what's happening right now.
So we're not going to hold you hostage. Don't worry. It's not going to be that kind of an event. We're actually about to wrap this up. We're going to ask you guys to continue making gifts, to think about it, to enjoy the night. We have a wall kit build over there that's actually going to go into a home that we're building in the near future. You're welcome to sign that before the event's open. We've got the bar. It's going to stay open. We're going to have music. There's going to be dancing in the back if you want to chill and just have a good time and visit with your friends. But we also hope that you'll keep this mission alive. And, you know, you see the thermometer here, it's red, it's going up. But we're going to keep that open because the donors have agreed to keep that match going through the weekend, to keep it going as people want to continue making gifts. And we hope that you remember that. And really, I just want to thank you all for being here tonight, for hopefully enjoying the event, for the amazing words of Coach Earl and Eric Berry, for the stories that they tell, for their presence, for your presence, and for your support for our mission.
I mean, this is great, and I really want to emphasize the wall over there as somebody that's remodeled a few homes, of tearing down a wall and finding some old newspapers or something in a wall. So go leave an inspiring message on the wall. It's a pretty unique gift you can leave somebody that you may never meet. You don't know what that message will mean to them. So I think that's a really neat thing to do. But as we wrap up tonight for Blueprints of the Future, I wanted to thank you. I wanted to thank you for your presence, your time, your energy, your generosity tonight. It's going to move us closer to helping ensure that these families have a safe, affordable home and just overall bright futures. No matter how you've shown up, whether you're donating, you're volunteering on site, volunteering in a restore, there's a lot of ways to connect. But simply just sharing the mission, you're making a difference. You're making a difference in a lot of lives in our community, and it is about building community.
All right, so now it's time to celebrate. Thank you all for being here. The bar, I've said it how many times? Anyone counting? It's staying open. We hope you'll hang out. We hope you have a great time. And we hope until then, we see you on the build site and you enjoy the night. Thanks for being here.